Welcome to Climate Today. I'm your host, Lisa, and I'm thrilled to present an exclusive news panel on the Willow Project. Just for some context, the Willow Project is a massive oil venture into Alaska's North Slope in the National Petroleum Reserve, owned by the federal government. However, this operation, recently approved by President Biden in March of 2023, brings up both environmental concerns as well as concerns from the local Alaskan tribe, the Nuksuk tribe. We turn to Andy Josephson, member of the Alaska House of Representatives and environmental specialist. So, Andy, can you tell us more about the impact of this operation?
Yes, of course. The Willow Project will significantly worsen the already severe coastal erosion, melting sea ice, and thaw the permafrost, which is a permanently frozen layer on or under the Earth's surface. It is devastating to see that the Biden administration has approved CoconuThillips, which is the multinational fossil fuel company, of their proposed $8 billion oil drill operation within the National Petroleum Reserve right here in Alaska. This is downright climate sabotage, as the Natural Resource Defense Council has stated.
How awful.
I know, right? And it's also worthy to note that the Willow Project was approved by the Trump administration in 2020, but a federal judge cited that there were many flaws in the environmental review processes. The Willow Project also resulted in the viral #StopWillow campaign on social media, with citizens very upset and enraged at the proposal. Isn't it strange how the Biden administration has passed beneficial legislation for climate change, yet approved such an environmentally harmful project?
Right, I was wondering about that myself. Thankfully, environmentalists still stand resilient.
Yes, an appeals court panel is now deciding whether to let the Biden administration's approval stand as of February 2024.
Well, that's hopeful. Thank you, Representative Josephson, for your insight. We'll now go to Hughes to understand more about the impact on the Nuksuk tribe.
Thank you, Lisa. Yes, from what I understand, this project will produce deadly toxins, destroying this land. We rely on this land for hunting, fishing, and harvesting. Going through with this project will destroy our livelihood. Not only will we not be able to survive, but we'll also be risking our health.
That's terrible. Can you tell us more about the importance of these lands?
You see, my grandmother was born here, yet at the age of 7, her parents, who worked all day, were labeled as unfit to take care of her and her 12 siblings. The government took them from their home and placed them in orphanages. These orphanages forced teachings to children, wiping these children, including my grandmother, of their nativeness. This land is the only connection she and I have to our ancestors. She is among millions that were pulled from indigenous roots, and these are the people that protected these lands, making sure new generations can continue to survive. If the Willow Project continues, all Alaska natives will suffer.
That's truly inspirational. Thank you for sharing that. Now, let's turn to Kirsten Monsell, Senior Attorney at the Center for Biological Diversity, for more information.
Thank you. Well, the decision to allow the Willow Project to move forward would be disastrous to Indigenous tribes. Large oil companies have repeatedly dumped millions of gallons of oil into the Prince William Sound, contaminating the food sources for natives in the area. Alaska is now the 4th most polluted state in the United States as a result of this.
That sounds disastrous. Have there been action taken, or at least attention brought to this issue considering how detrimental it is?
Well, grassroots organizations such as the Alaska Native Oil and Gas Working Group have already called to an end to new oil and gas developments in Alaska, along with Native Americans petitioning the American government. Yet, it still wasn't enough to prevent the Willow Project. Native activists have even traveled thousands of miles to the White House to plead their case. But what we need now is more action.
Right. I have heard of recent articles on the silent sufferers of the Willow Project and continuous calls for recognition of the impacts. Could you provide us with any possible alternative solutions to this current pressing issue?
Well, the main way to help Indigenous tribes and reduce the climate crisis is to halt the Willow Project. However, since it's unlikely that this operation will stop, I encourage everyone to boycott ConocoPhillips, the company running the operation. Additionally, we should promote the use of green energy and alternatives to fossil fuels to prevent future operations of this scale. Perhaps political lobbying to pressure politicians to amplify and take into consideration the people's voices would also help. With the people's support, we can stop this project, protecting indigenous tribes and working together towards a greener future.
Well, you heard it here, folks. As our valued viewers, we encourage you to reach out and protest against the Willow Project. Within your reach, you can post on Instagram or write to your local representatives, the White House, or advocacy groups regarding your concerns. Thank you so much for watching Climate Today, and good night.
This has been breaking news from CBS 2.